How's it going, people? This is Ben with Swift English. So today I want to take a look at an unusual kind of detailed factual question from the TOEFL reading. Okay, so detailed factual questions you guys are pretty much familiar with. So again, just to repeat, to reiterate, you're gonna read the question, identify the keywords, right? Whatever the keywords are, they're usually content words like nouns, verbs, adjectives, adverbs. You would use that information to then scan for them or their equivalents, synonyms, because they do paraphrase a lot, and find the right spot and read that sentence or the sentence after and use that to answer the question, right? You would use the clue to figure out which choice is the right answer. Now, what do you do if you encounter one of these? So this is a detailed factual question in the form of a question. So, well, at least the answer options, the answer choices here are in the form of a question, okay? So this itself is a question, right? Paragraph 2, answers. So pay attention to this word answers. Which of the following questions, so these are questions here, about paintings by Vermeer. So the best way to approach this is you want to pay attention to paintings and Vermeer. Probably this entire paragraph is about this, right? So now what you want to do, before you begin reading, read the first question and then take a look at the paragraph. I find this the easiest way to do this. Otherwise, if you start reading this entire paragraph and maybe you're looking for paintings and Vermeer, you're not going to really make much sense out of it. So step one, now that you know what kind of question this is, you want to first skim and scan for the first choice. Okay, so what is this? What characteristics of Vermeer's paintings suggest, imply, right, that he may have used a camera obscura? All right, so key word here is characteristics, but guys, pay careful attention. The word characteristics, they're probably not going to mention it in the text, or even similar words like aspects, qualities, traits, right, attributes. Instead, they will show what those characteristics are. Really important. So don't expect that they're going to actually quite literally mention this word. They're going to show what these characteristics are. So let's read if that is the right answer. So we want to check for it first, right? Did some of the great masters of painting then trace their images using camera obscura? So I need characteristics about this that suggested he used this. Some art historians are now looking for clues of artists' use of such devices. One of the artists whose paintings are being analyzed from this point of view is the great Dutch master Jan Vermeer. Yeah, he was a keyword, right? Who lived from this time to this time during the flowering of art and science in the Netherlands, including the science of optics, right? They didn't really mention or describe any characteristics of his paintings yet. So keep going, guys. Don't slow down. Vermeer produced only about 30 known paintings, including his famous The Art of Painting. Again, he's just talking about paintings generally, but hasn't really explored the characteristics yet. The room shown in it closely resembles the room in the other Vermeer paintings, with lighting coming from a window on the left. So if you guys don't know what characteristics means, you're probably going to get this one wrong or struggle with it. So just to let you know, this here is an example of a characteristic, with lighting coming from a window on the left. This is a characteristic of a painting, right? It's one feature of it, one aspect of it, one kind of detail related to it. The same roof beams and similar floor tiles suggesting that the room was fitted with the camera obscura on the side in the foreground. And the map hung on the opposite wall. Okay, so, already you ran into a few characteristics, and if you were to continue, you're gonna see, a few more, right? So as soon as you notice one or two of them, you're just good to go. That's it. You found characteristics, so A is the right answer. And now you would move on. You don't have to check B, C, and D. Now, if you didn't know what characteristics are and probably you read this, you're going to waste a bit of time. Then you come to B, and then you have to go through B, C, and D to check if they're the right answers. But now just to show you really quick, why did Vermeer produce only about 30 paintings? And you'll notice, like, if B, for instance, is the wrong answer, which it is, you'll kind of notice a sentence like this: Vermeer produced only about 30 known paintings. So they have keywords from here, but they haven't really explained why that is. So when you continue reading the rest of it, if you don't see them explain why that is, like he produced, 30 paintings because of this reason, or, due to this. So if you know some words that are closely connected to these WH words, like because, since, for, why, for words like what, they're going to be more open, okay? So they're going to mention different things, whatever those are, like characteristics, elements, problems, solutions, whatever they are. It's pretty open. For like questions that have do in them, these are kind of weird. I'd say most of these are probably the wrong answer 90% of the time, because do kind of questions usually end in a yes or no kind of format, okay? So just be kind of skeptical of these most of the time. And if you see something like involving a why with the if in it, probably that's a wrong one. Might not be necessarily, you'd still have to check for it, but in general, they're not going to be too complicated. So the main thing is, though, saving time, because if you cannot figure these out, you're going to be checking through all 4 of them and you're going to get lost, and you could easily waste 3-4 minutes of time, and you're not going to be able to finish the rest of the reading passage. So when you go through these, make sure, A is the right answer or it's not the answer, okay? You have to be 100% sure. Because if you're not sure, if you don't know what characteristics means, and you didn't see anything, and then you just move on to B, C, and D, you're going to get lost, and it's going to be a huge disaster. So yeah, when you go through these, pay attention to those keywords, okay? So characteristics, why in this case is the keyword. This one's a little bit weird because it has a do in it. There's another why here, so they have to mention, the reason for something, and they'll use words like because, since, the reason for this, right? They'll have some kind of language that answers these kinds of questions. But when you have like a what question and they have something like characteristics or problems or solutions, you kind of have an idea of what you want to look for, and they're telling you exactly what to look for. And once you found them, that's it. You're good to go. I hope you enjoyed this. See you guys next time. Please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.